Hello, and I'd like to welcome you all once again to the old schoolhouse here in the village of, in the hamlet of Butterstone in Scotland for another wee Saturday night half hour. And I would like you to welcome to the stage the wonderful Tatty Faces, who will be accompanying me tonight with their usual virtuosity. And it's been a pretty hectic week, and I'll tell you all about it as we get further along. But I thought I would start with this wee song. I've got requests tonight. So this was requested by Dean McEwen in Airdrie, just down the road in Airdrie. And I thought it was quite relevant, as you know, things are blooming insane here. And I just thought this was... it's a very old song of mine, and it's not a song I sing at all very much. But my daughter, it's one of my daughter's favourite songs, and I think she might be watching that. So we'll try it and see how we go on. And that's what's good about these live broadcasts from the school here. If it goes pear-shaped, there's nobody to throw anything at me, or except Jenny, yeah. Shame, shame on your ruthless self-made man. You've loaded your ambitions on the children of this land. And shame, shame on your great eternal plan. It's your own diseased direction. You'll get there any way you can. Oh, but we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. And shame, shame, you see our lives a marketplace. Oh, we're all consumer units in your greedy little race. And shame, shame on your vision of our lives. Oh, your friends are carved with conquest on the handle of your knife. Oh, but we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. And shame, shame on your cool stock city guile. Oh, you're pressed into your business suit, and you're polished to your smile. And shame, shame on your brute dishonesty. You manipulate the numbers, don't intend to set them free. Oh, but we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. I ain't gotta sing that chorus again, but oh, and we can see you now. You can't fool all the people, and we don't believe you now. You can't fool all the people all the time. Thank you very much, and that's my wee song, Shame. Now, I don't get angry very often. There's an old song of mine, and I remember getting very angry and writing that song, and it's it's kept its relevance over the years, and in fact, it's just as relevant in the last couple of weeks here as ever. So it's good to have wee angry songs like that. I'm going to do something for a bit of fun because we're getting near Halloween. I thought I would do this as a chorus song, and I don't really I've done this song once before, I think, but it was requested, believe it or not, by Susan MacDonald in Kingston, Ontario. Now, she must have watched one of the shows when I've done it, because I've never done it in any of my concerts, so it's always just been from here. So I'm going to grab my banjo and just... And I thought I would do this as a chorus song, which could be a bit of fun. And one of the things that, for those of you who have just tuned in, one of the things I learned to do in lockdown was to learn to play the banjo. And I didn't say that I learned to play the banjo well. I can play the banjo, and I've written a couple of wee songs on it. And so this is a funny song because this is a song about Duncan here. Duncan, Mr. Duncan Tattyface, who is actually a tatty bogle. Now, for those of you who are not Scottish people will know what a tatty bogle is, but if you don't, tatty bogle is a kind of scarecrow. He goes out and he's in your garden and he frightens away the birds and things like that and keeps the birds off your vegetables. And they're pretty spooky kind of things, tatty bogles, particularly if you see them in the dark night. And I thought, because it was kind of Halloween coming up, and I wrote this really strange song. So I wrote this song for Duncan because it's a career for tatty faces. For tatty, you you become you're a tatty bogle, and now that Duncan's become a professional, kind of famous bass player, but he still does a bit of tatty bogling for me out in the garden there in the summertime. And what you sing is you sing, I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land. And if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. Okay? So this is the chorus. I'll try it. So the global choir is a bit of a challenge for the global choir, but here we go. I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. I'll try and get the chords right next time. That's the chorus, okay? And I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land, and if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. My name is tatty face. Oh, I'm a tatty of this place. I frighten crows, I frighten pigeons too. There isn't any frightening that I can't do. Here we go. Oh, I'm your tatty bogle man. A bit scary, isn't it? I've bogled all across this land. And if you need your garden made secure, I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. If your cabbages are under threat, don't be afraid, all's not lost yet. Just call the tatty bogle man and see. He'll save your cabbage and all the rest for a small fee. Gonna blow that. Oh, I'm your tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land. And if you need your garden made secure, I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. So if your garden's big or small, don't hesitate, just give me a call. I'll come with all my tatty bogle tools and frighten anything that tries to break my rules. Sing, I'm a tatty bogle man. I've bogled all across this land. And if you need your garden made secure, then I'm your tatty bogle man for sure. You want to try singing it on your own? Global choir, this is a wee bit different, something a wee bit different. But kind of spooky, kind of Halloweeny, kind of tatty bogle kind of thing. Here we go. Oh, that was fantastic. I think we'll do it again because that was so fantastic with a wee bit of harmony. Oh, across this land. And if my name is very much. Everybody's now saying Dougie has gone completely mad. He's singing about tatty bogles. But anyway, I thought it would just be a wee bit of fun, and because Halloween's coming up, and it's kind of got that kind of dark thing to it. It's a song I wrote for my grandchildren, actually, and just to, but I like it. It's quite a. It's quite a. Hold on, I get this. It's quite a. It's quite a nice thing to sing because it's so kind of weird and dark. Anyway, I'm going to do this song, which came from. I spent a lot of time up on the west coast of Scotland, up on the island of Lewis, on the west coast of the island of Lewis. And a good number of years ago, I the wee village where I have a wee house. The community there, the crofters there, they have, there's a wee island called Vuya off the shore, and they keep their sheep out there. And then at the end of the summer, every year they would take the sheep back. And I was very lucky. I would go out and help. But and it was this must have been 20 years ago or so, when they were still bringing the sheep back in the old wooden boats. In the old wooden boats with a kind of 2-horsepower Seagull engine on them, you know, and they would fill maybe 30 or 40 sheep in a boat and then take it back to the mainland. And I kind of went over and gave them a hand. And but it was lovely because it was kind of like a glimpse of a time of a kind of working thing that was ancient. You know, they've been doing that for hundreds of years, exactly the same way. And it was like a glimpse into this kind of like really kind of peaceful time of work and sort of rhythm, the rhythm that they had with it all. And so I wrote this song, and I'll give it a wee. Piece of paper right. This was requested by Stephanie Summers in New Zealand. Hi, Stephanie. Stephanie's a regular. And also I've got to congratulate Karen and Karsten, who are celebrating their 260th birthdays and 35 years married with their friends in an old mill in Wilster, Schleswig-Holstein, in the north of Hamburg. I think I might have been at that old mill, actually. It's a big old windmill. Anyway, have a good wee celebration, and I believe that there's a gathering of them with a number of their friends. So I hope you're getting this loud and clear, and I hope you enjoyed singing the Tatty Bogle song for your birthday. Forward to gather, we share the beam of weathered oak, father to father. We lean on every word they spoke. Listen how the winds are due to change. Look at how the tide it turns again. They're following another time, following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these ties cannot hold it. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these ties cannot hold it. They cut the long grass, they cut to save the summer sun. We take the long glass, we drink till we will be as one, waiting for the gentle season's fall. Waiting, so much waiting for it all. They're following another time, they're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these ties cannot hold it. They're following another time, they're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these ties cannot hold it. bass. Stand so silent, watch across the endless sea, so calm, so violent. Is this the dawning truth we see? Listen how the winds are due to change. Look at how the tide it turns again. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these tides cannot hold it. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these tides cannot hold. Try singing the chorus, go on. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these tides cannot hold it. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these tides cannot hold it. Forward together, we share the beam of weathered oak. Father to father, we lean on every word they spoke. Listen how the winds are due to change. Listen how the tide turns again. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, and these tides cannot hold it. They're following another time. They're following another time. It's beautiful, oh, these tides cannot hold it. And that's my wee song, Following Another Time. And it really was that. It was like that. It was when I was helping them, when you felt like you were part of something that had been getting done for hundreds of years, and that nothing could touch that kind of, although things have changed now, but it was very special for me. I'm going to finish with this wee song, which I've never sung before. And I had so many requests for this, and because of the Halloween kind of thing going on, and so I thought I would have a wee go at it. And in fact, I might, and it's this was a song by Robert Tannehill, and it's kind of like another one of these night visiting songs, you know, one of these kind of let me in, knocking on the door and let me in. And this I used to do this song with the band which I played with him when I was in my early 20s, called the Tannehill Weavers. In fact, it was the title track of the first record that I ever made, and I actually got it here. Maybe Jenny could get the camera, and I'm going to bring it up. It was so that this is it. Vinyl. Look at that, a good piece of vinyl, and the album was called "Are You Sleeping, Maggie?" Are you sleeping, Maggie? Are you sleeping, Maggie? And this was the first record that, and I was only I would have been probably 20 or something when we made this record. And there's I'll just show you the back of it as well. There's the very young me and all the boys, and We haven't really changed that much, actually, I don't think. Anyway, I remember when we got this, because in these days it was difficult to make records, you know. I mean, these days you can just, you know, people make CDs, just you can make them in your own computer. But to make a record, we had to go to the studio and the vinyl and all the grooves and things and all that. And it was difficult. And I remember when they arrived in a box when we were doing a concert in Hamburg, I think it was, in Germany. And they arrived and we were so excited to have this, you know. Anyway, so the song was called Are You Sleeping, Maggie, which we sang, but I just played fiddle on it. But I did record the song, but I've never actually ever sung it. So this could either work or it couldn't work, you know. And but we'll have a wee go at it. And it's another one of them spooky kind of, it's a spooky kind of Scottish. You'll not understand any of the words because it's in kind of dialect. But if you want to sing the chorus, you sing is, Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. And I'll translate a wee bit if I can for you. It's like, oh, are you sleeping, Margaret? Oh, are you sleeping, Margaret? Let me in. So he's banging at the door. It's in this night, you know, it's a spooky night, and it's probably Halloween, you know. And let me in, for loud the linn, loud the burn, the Linn River burn kind of thing, is rolling over the Warlock Craggy, which is probably a waterfall kind of craggy kind of place. So it's and it's all about ghosts and things. So here we go. I'm going to have a wee mouthful of my 1985 vintage port, which my good friend Nigel has been supplying me with, and that's 157 concerts he's supplied the vintage port for. So he's been. I don't think I could have done all these shows without him. Anyway. Murk and rainy is the night, there's no star in all the carry. Lightning gleam athwart the lift, and winds drive on wi' winter's fury. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. Want to try that chorus? We'll try again. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. Fearful socks the Burtray bank, the rifted wood whiles wild and dreary. Loud the iron yet does clank, and cry a hoo-leg smacks me eerie. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. I put my breath, I darna speak, for fear I walk the Lochrife Daddy. Calls the blast upon my cheek. Oh, rise, my bonny lady. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. She's opened the door, she's let him in, she's cast aside his draping plaidy. Blow your worst, you rain and wind, new Maggie I am doing aside you. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. Why don't you try the chorus on your own? Have a wee go, here we go. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, I'm getting the vibe here in the old schoolhouse. That's fantastic. A global choir singing words that they don't understand. But you could just make the sounds. You know, do it again. That sounds great. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in the light, over the water crying. Oh, dark and rainy is the night. There's no star in all the carry. Lightnings gleam athwart the lift, and winds dry on wi' winter's fury. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Oh, are you sleeping, Maggie? Let me in, for loud the linn is rowing o'er the Warlock Craggy. New since you're walking, Maggie. New since you're walking, Maggie. What care I for who is crying, for winterers or Warlock Craggy? Thank you very much. Well, that's brought us to the end of our wee half an hour. It was a strange Saturday night this time because I haven't done any of the kind of weird songs, and I hope you've enjoyed the kind of variations on a theme. And I've enjoyed doing things that I don't normally do, which is great. And that's one of these things about these wee Saturday night shows, is that I can get to do sort of things that I wouldn't normally do. Anyway, that was actually requested by Suzuza Yugal. Oh gosh, it's a beautiful name, but I just don't think I can pronounce it properly. Suzuza Yugal in New York. So that's wonderful. I hope you're getting this loud and clear in New York. It's a great place. I've spent a fair bit of time over there over the years, and so I'm just going to finish off. We're very busy at the moment because next weekend is our Shades of Amber Festival. Now, for those of you who don't know, for many years we've done festivals, Jenny and I and the family. First, it started off with a big event in a tent. We did a big thing in Dunkeld, it's just a wee town about 4 miles from here. And then we started this big festival called Perthshire Amber. And eventually it grew and grew and grew and became this 10-day festival, which was this monster. And really, and it was brilliant. And we had fantastic, we had guests from all over the world coming and musicians from all over the world. But we don't want to do that anymore. But we're going to do this little thing. It's like a mini Perthshire Amber. And it's called Shades of Amber. And there's a wee venue just a few miles along the road from us, which is called Carney Steddons, which is an old farm building. And it's a place where I used to work, actually. I used to work on the estate over there doing stuff. And but the owners now have converted it into this beautiful little venue with all these big fire pits and woods and walks and things like that up on the hills. It's just fantastic. So we're going to do a wee weekend. That's happening next weekend. And we're going to keep some elements of our Perthshire Amber Festival. So there's a wee flyer for it, which I can show you. There's a wee flyer. Can we get that on the camera? Yeah. Shades of Amber. We called it Shades of Amber, and so I've got all kinds of musician friends coming and to be part of it all, and we have our big net, which my mum Dolina, who is watching tonight, I believe, started off, and it was to kind of. It started off during Perthshire Amber Festival, but we just encouraged lots of people to kind of knit, and originally it was everybody knitted a square that came to the festival, and my mum sewed them all together in one big blanket, and then it was auctioned off, and we raised money for a wonderful charity called the Serenians. Anyway, over the years it's changed now. People knit all kinds of stuff, and so and send it in, and we sell them for the charity. So that's happening as well. And Jenny is having the first ever giant exhibition of her paintings. So if any of you and weavings, and if you're around, you can pop up. You don't have to have tickets for the shows to go up and see the exhibition. But you have to kind of make a plan anyway. So that's all happening next weekend, and we've got one on the Sunday. We have a kind of Sunday afternoon. We have a concert, so we're going to stream the Sunday concert. It's going to be a ticketed stream because there's lots of musicians there. But you can see that at DougieMcLeanLive.com. Going to start selling tickets for a 2-hour concert. It's a 2-hour concert with all the guests and things and that. And so if you keep your eye on that, if you want to buy a ticket for that, it's and you can feel like it's available now, and you can feel maybe part. If you're in New York, you might be able to feel part of the Shades of Amber wee festival. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the weird selection of songs tonight, and I hope you're all taking care of each other. Things are still pretty crazy on all fronts, actually, and particularly here, the winter's going to be very hard, and it's going to be really tough keeping warm with the cost of living going up, and you think things are get bad, and then they just get worse. They just get worse. But we're all tough, and as long as we have lots of friends around who care for us, and we're all looking after each other, and we're smiling like a tatty face, then we can survive most things. So you all take care, and I'll see you next weekend at some point, and I'll see you. Those of you who come up to the Carney Steddons, I'll see you there. Right, and I think there's a few tickets left if you go to the PerthShareAmber.com. I think we'll get you to the place where you can get a ticket if you're kind of going to be in this area. So Aikava, night, and thank you very much for joining me. Thanks to Jenny for pressing the buttons. There's just the two of us in here tonight, and I'll see you further on. Aikava.